In the previous lesson, we worked with layers or levels or stories in BONSAI BIM. So we created some null objects here representing the levels. So we work like in elevation also. And we created a simple like two levels building. So remember when you want to load also the transparency effects, the visual styles, and the various gizmos, etc., you need to load the Blender, not only the IFC model. And we work also with multiple drawings in multiple CAD files in multiple layers. So this is something you need to do when you have like buildings that have different plans according to the level. So in this case, I created this sort of deconstructivist architecture here, and then we build the slabs and the walls, so the really basic structures. Now, the important thing about layers and layering is that you can turn on and off the various levels, the various layers, so you can work in one plan, and then you can move to the one above, and so on. So that's a really good workflow and organization that you need to manage and take care from the outliner panel, as we already know from previous lessons. So in this lesson, instead, we're going to go back to and also create, different drawings. You can export different drawings from BONSAI BIM. So also you can turn off the CAD once you finish, because that's only for snapping and tracing with and creating the 3D on top of the CAD annotation. So I'm going to create a new metric file, and this is going to be our lesson 13. And in this lesson, we're going to go more into deep with the grids. So we're going to see how we can edit them, we can modify them, and how we can make also some oblique and curved lines. So we are starting with a really basic spatial tree here, spatial decomposition. So we're only going to work with one story in here. So we're just going to click on add grid, and we already done this before in another video. We worked with a really simple grid, which is this basic grid, and it's composed by 3 horizontal and 3 vertical grid lines. You can turn that on and off. And if you want to edit, if you want to modify it, you need to click on the little locker there to unlock. So you can lock and unlock the grid. So you can lock it once you're finished. But if you want to modify it, you need to unlock it first, and then you can start to work with this. So this is the basic grid, and here we can see the various lines which are numbered and named, and they are mesh, they are not. We also have a null object here representing the grid. So always study and explore the outliner on the left. So we can select each one of these, and we can work with it. So we can modify it as a mesh. As you can see, it's not a curve. It's supposed to be a curve because it's a line, but instead it's a mesh object. So we're going to see that we need to convert and we need to work with the mesh. So first of all, if we want to move the grid, so let's assume we want to move this line right here, this grid line. So we go into the move tool. You can see the origin is not on the grid line. So what we can do is right click and set the origin, so we can move the origin to the geometry so that it goes right there in the center. And probably that's better to work with that grid, so we can move it around. So for example, we can let's move it, but we can follow the main grid, which is each 1 meter, but it's not snapping right now to the Blender grid. So if we want it to snap, we need to work with some snapping settings. So we need to activate time, after time, the snaps that we need. So for example, here we can activate also the snap to the grid, so we can snap while we're moving to the grid. And we know that the Blender grid is like each 1 meter. So I know that, like, just by watching here, that this is going to be 3 meters from the first grid, and then we can move down to 4, and then 5, etc., etc. So we can quickly measure it by just viewing it. Otherwise, we can also, double check by creating here a measure and make sure it snaps on the right point. So let's take it like from here. You can see it's snapping to the whole grid line. You can see it's 4 meters, so that's perpendicular right there. And so that's fine. So this is one way. So you can reorganize the spacing between the grid lines. Instead of having them like equally spaced, you can place them around according to your need, because this is a structural grid. So this is supposed to be where the structure are passing. So another way is just, ignore the origin that is not exactly in there and just, move it. So right now, this is on the second line. So if I move it and I want to know exactly how I move it, I can just expand the bottom panel there and I can change there the X value. So right now it's 6, so we can put 5. So right now it's 5 meters from the previous position. And then you can move it again, and it's going to be 6 meters from the previous position, which was exactly on the line 02. So that's another way. Again, we can do it more precisely and, be accurate in repositioning the grid lines and the grid itself. So you can move the origin, or you can also like ignore it. And then another thing we can do is create more. So if you want to create more grid lines, we can right click and we can go to duplicate. So if you go IFC duplicate, always try to use the IFC commands rather than the simple ones. And there it is. So we can change the name right now because this is going to be 04. So let's just edit the name in the outliner. Let's put 04. And this is going to be the same position of the 03. So again, we can just move it and then specify. We can snap to the grid. We can specify down there how many meters we want to move it. Now, if you go with the minus, you're going to go the other direction, so opposite direction. Otherwise, it's going to go like on the right in this case. And again, duplicate, and we can go on and create all the others. So that's the best way you can do is duplicate, rename, reposition, and move on. Now, of course, you can do the same thing with the horizontal lines, but I'm going to show you some other possibility. So first of all, I want to move this down, which is now 10 meters away from the first one. So I can press the G also to move it. So grab and move. And if you want to constrain the movement on the x-axis, or in this case on the epsilon, well, you can either use the grid, or you can just press the epsilon or the y or the x, depending where you want to align it. So you're going to press y and you're going to move it again using the grid as a reference. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Or you can just type here the number, but be careful because now we're going like in the opposite direction. So it's going to be like, we know that if we put it on minus 10, it's going to go where the first line is. There you go. So let's say we want to move it like 4 meters from the first line. We need to do like 10 minus 6. So it's going to be like, and that's going to give us 4. Now, be careful to put the minus, otherwise it's going to go in the other direction. So minus 10 is going to go there. And minus 6 is going to move it 4 from, from the A grid line. Okay, again, G, we can grab it. We can also press the B to set a base for the snap. And then we can move it like this. Again, try to follow the grid. Or again, we can fix it with the measures down there. Okay, let's duplicate again. And let's move it again. And again, it's the same story. So this time we're just going to use the epsilon instead, or the y instead of the x. Okay, so what else we can do here? Well, just rename it as well, because we need to put like unique names, unique letters, and unique numbers. And this is still a linear grid. So we edited, we changed it. It's not the basic one, but now, what if we want to start to create some, oblique lines? Because some buildings